Today, the 915th day of uninterrupted daily webinar of IFPH, International Forum for Promoting Homeopathy. Today, a very nice day because I am not there to say that today's guest is Dr.Shaji Kudiat. He is the host. We are all came to this platform as guests. So, hello, Dr. Shaji Kudiat.
Yes.
Dr. Shaji, before starting our session, let us have an 1 minute silent prayer. Dr. Shaji Kudiat, we all know that he is our vice president. More than that, he made the strong base and foundation of IFPH. And his hard work and sleepless nights, which we enjoy present day in IFPH platform. We know that how much he suffered, how much he lost in the time of the pandemic. He created all these sufferings for our well-being and for this organization. So we are all thankful to him because each and every stone he created and he made that base. Dr. Shaji Kudiat, leader at various homeopathic organizations, more than 30 years of experience. Today, he's dealing the subject, understanding the science of homeopathy for fathers of medical science. He's always working for the upliftment of homeopathic system and this science. So we all came to this platform. Thank you, Dr. Shaji Kudiat. You are the most welcome person in this our platform. Now for the you know everything, you know how to do all these things. So I invite you. Thank you, doctor. You can start.
Thank you, each and everyone. Thank you for giving a nice introduction, Dr. Hubert. Thank you for joining, Dr. Beatrice, Dr. From Pakistan, Dr. Amir Malik, and all others who joined today and going to be joining on the way, and all other dignitaries and regular participants and supporters of homeopathy and IFPH. Today, we are celebrating World Science Day. World Science Day was on March 1st, and there is some suggestions came to celebrate it in IFPH. So I took the challenge of explaining the science of homeopathy. As I got the grace of God or nature's chance to introduce homeopathy to Philippines, so many questions came on my way. How it works, what is a science, it is not a science, it is so many names and challenges came on my way. So my curious mind worked to find solutions, most especially my dream project of finding solution for cancer. All these combined, I was able to understand and explain so many things that help us understand homeopathy also. So today I am going to present the important topic of understanding science of homeopathy for furtherance of medical science in association with the World Science Day celebrations. I hope you can see my screen.
Yeah, we can see the doctor.
So, okay. Is it readable? My full screen is readable?
Yeah.
Okay, so I will move forward. So, what is wrong with the current medical science and its researches? We begin with that. Then only we need to understand what is needed to be done to improve it. In my understanding, the most important mistake happening with the current medical science and its research studies are the use of research methodologies that is used in technology development and material science-based research methodologies and principles applied to a holistic science-based medical science, where we need to consider both the dynamic and material components that constitute life in the physical body. Unfortunately, the medical science is limited its researches only in the physical body, whose biochemical nature changes with the nature of thoughts that we allow to develop in our mind. But that changes are never incorporated in laboratory-based and animal-based research studies. And that is the biggest challenge and mistake happening today. Then what are the challenges of homeopathy, scientific challenges of homeopathy? The most important challenges are understanding the science behind holistic medicine, where we consider the mind, vital force, or prana, or chi, or soul, or the energy components, and its association and interaction with the physical body, how it happens. We all know when our mind thoughts changes, or the mind nature of mental thoughts changes, our biochemistry changes. So how these thoughts were able to influence our physical plane to make such changes, how that interaction happens, that is the most important scientific perspective of this. And that should be other than conventional or allopathic or so-called Rockefeller medicine. I rather call it like that, Rockefeller medicine. All other traditional and alternative systems of medicines are holistic in nature, where we incorporate the role of mind, vital force, and physical body together. So how that science functions, and especially how homeopathy works, we start the potentization from material ingredients and natural resources available in the universe, converting it into non-material level plane. And we believe it is functioning because we are seeing the functional capacity of homeopathy medicine. The higher the potency, the more potent and more powerful it is. So how such a transformation happens, and what is functionally working and how it works? And what is the intention and purpose of science? The intention of science is to help us realize why and how things are happening. If anything happening in the universe is really happening, including the functional ability of homeopathy, if the current science is unable to explain that, it doesn't mean that it is not happening, or it is rather unscientific. It only means that the current science is inadequate, incomplete, and needed to be furthered and completed, so that what is happening with such systems of medicine can be understood and explained. So if the present science, since the present science have difficulty in explaining how homeopathy works and many other things, it is a clear indication of the need for furtherance of the present science. And the discovery of the principles I am going to share with you today, we name it as dynamic science, or I named it as dynamic science, is the byproduct of a curious, continuous inquiry made for years, and conclusions made after years-long researches and studies. I named it as dynamic science. So the question is how science progress. Science always progress by questioning answers and answering questions. So it is a series of questioning and answering that happened in my mind that led to the identification or discovery of these new set of hypotheses I am going to present before. So the objectives of this presentation include how mind, vital force, and DNA are interconnected. That is the core of functional ability of holistic science, or the functioning of a living organism, and how matter and energy are interconnected, or redefining matter and cosmos. Because homeopathic medicines are prepared from ingredients taken from the cosmos, particularly matter. So we need to understand or redefine what is this matter and cosmos on a new perspective to understand homeopathy. What is acting curatively in homeopathic medicines and how it works. These are the objectives expected to convey through this presentation. So I am directly going to the evolution of dynamic science or dynamic scientific approach. It is developed by the inductive logical analysis of cancer. So all this started as a process to understand how cancer develops, because my basic intent was to find a solution for cancer. So many questions came, answers found, questions again came, a series of questioning and answering happened through years of time. Finally, in 2003, a clear picture of the entire thing I am going to present to you today came to my mind, and I am proudly happy to present before you. So the first question is, what is cancer? Is abnormal fast multiplication of cells. What or who decide the rate of multiplication of cells? It is presented by the genetic information present in the chromosomes in the nucleus of the cells. So what are these chromosomes? We have 46 chromosomes, 23 coming from the father, 23 from the mother. This is here in the picture, you can see one among that. And if we pull from one end of a chromosome, we will get a structure shown in the bottom of the picture that is called DNA, deoxyribonucleic acid. It means that our chromosomes are nothing but a kilometers long DNA, which coil together and compress together to form chromosomes. So the entire functional ability of a living organism, from a single cell to tissues to organs and systems and as a body as a whole, these capabilities are imprinted in these 46 chromosomes within the DNA, where it is imprinted or encoded. Now, what is DNA? DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid. I am presenting the present perspective so that we will be able to go beyond what is known today. On the right hand side, we can see a broad picture of Watson and Crick double helix structure in the 360-degree spiral form, which is made up of nucleotides. And nucleotides are formed from nucleic acids, deoxyribose, and phosphate molecules. The deoxyribose and phosphate molecules, the base, form the base, and actual DNA encoding happens when 4 nucleic acids, adenine, guanine, thymine, and cytosine, arranged in a sequential order. The sequential arranger decides the genetic makeup. We have another name called genes, which are nothing but a segment of DNA with a unique sequential arrangement and a spatial presentation during its activation that is capable of performing a specific function. So with this, I'm going to have the next question, that is nothing but, if the sequential arrangement of nucleic acids in the DNA and the specific spatial presentation decides its functional ability, who is determining the sequential arrangement of these nucleic acids and that spatial presentation? The answer to this question is the new hypothesis of dynamic science. And before answering the new hypothesis, I am going to bring your attention to another important thing happening in every living organism, that is death. What is the difference between a living body and dead body, or how we die, or what happens during death if we divide the death process into 3 stages: before death, during death, and after death? So in order to, if we look and study the physical body, all the functional ingredients and the organs and tissues and systems present in a living organism are totally present in the dead body in majority of cases, except when death happens during surgical intervention or accidents like that. Other than most of the time, all the functional ingredients and organs and everything present in the living body are present in the dead body. Then how the death happens, or what happens during death? In order to understand, we are conducting a study of the most important organ, brain and heart, that we believe are maintaining creation and maintenance of the living phenomena. When we study brain with EEG and the heart with ECG in a living state and dead body, we can understand that EEG and ECG are positive in the living body and negative in the dead body. This is what we do in a IC, in a high-tech hospital, where we can see, we place metal conductors in different unique positions in our body, which will be processed and played in a where we watch a wave running. As long as the wave is running, that indicates the presence of an energy in the living body. As long as the wave exists, as long as the energy exists in the living body, we know that patient or person is alive. The moment this wave becomes a flat line, we declare the patient dead, meaning that energy left the body or stopped existing in the body. So presence and absence of this energy is playing vital role in the creation and maintenance of a living phenomena or life, and its absence make the living body a dead body. So what is energy? How can we distinguish one energy from another energy or differentiate different forms of energy? Physics says one form of energy can be differentiated from another energy by 3 parameters, which we name frequency, wavelength, and amplitude. Wavelength is the length of an upward and downward movement of a moving particle or a wave. Amplitude is the maximum vertical height it moves from the center position. And frequency is the number of waves produced in 1 second. So these parameters will be different in different forms of energy. That's the reason why different TV channels, different radio stations, including mobile phones, are able to broadcast their programs or call another mobile number, or radio programs are broadcasted and we tune to that frequency to get that channel. Similarly, there is energy in every living organism. Unfortunately, technology had not yet developed to measure the frequency, wavelength, and amplitude of this energy. That is true. Technology is yet to be developed to measure these parameters. But doesn't mean that the technology development may take some more time. Even though it is not yet measured today, doesn't mean that it is not existing. I met a physics scientist, the head of physics department of St. Petersburg University of Russia, Dr. Korobkov, who identified a machine to measure energy in joules. So different researches are happening in that perspective. So it is a matter of time and thinking in that direction to develop that. So let us wait for that, but this is a reality that exists. So with this much understanding, I am going to present the new hypothesis of dynamic science that connects between the DNA and the vital force or the prana or the chi or the energy that creates and maintains the living phenomenon. If you look into the two-dimensional picture of a Watson and Crick model of DNA and the energy in the waveform, we can see a similarity between them in the waveform. So with this incidentals noticing of the similarity, I'm going to state the new hypothesis of dynamic science. The new hypothesis connect between the DNA and the vital force, and it states that the sequential arrangement of nucleic acids and its spatial orientation in the DNA is nothing but a physical proportionate expression of the frequency, wavelength, and amplitude of the vital force that creates and maintains the living phenomena in that organism. This is just a hypothesis. I cannot show you physically these things. So you have to imagine that. But if this hypothesis is right, if we can modify the frequency, wavelength, and amplitude of our vital force, there can be changes that can take place in our DNA. So there are talks about hacking humanity through modifying DNA, through mRNA, vaccines, and all these things. So if we can modify the DNA, there can be changes takes place in our vital force also. As we can, if we build a bridge, you can bear both ways. So the vital force influences the arrangement of DNA and its spatial orientation. If that orientation or the arrangement, sequential arrangement of nucleic acids can be modified, it can affect the vital force. Now, another question is it possible to modify the frequency of our vital force? Before answering that question, I am bringing to your attention to another dynamic entity called the mind. And another hypothesis is that each thought that we allow to develop in our mind is an energy vibration with a unique frequency, wavelength, and amplitude. So when a living person, a human being, gone living, there exists minimum 2 energy vibrational frequencies in the same body at the same time. One is that of the vital force that creates and maintains the living phenomena. Other one is that of the thoughts that we allow to develop in our own body. And both coexist in the same body at the same time. So what happens when 2 energy vibrations coexist in the same medium at the same time? How the mind influences the soul or the vital force or the chi or the prana or the spirit. It can be again studied by 2 physics theories, theory of resonation and theory of superposition or interference. Theory of resonation can be understood by a physics lab experiment using sonometer and tuning fork. We have done it in our physics lab during pre-med college or secondary school studies. So tuning fork is a U-shaped apparatus which has a unique frequency of vibration when it is tapped. A sonometer is a box-like apparatus where a string is tied at one end and hanging through on the other side and with a weight. And the vibrational column of a string can be changed by a triangular shape, the material placed between the strings, under the strings. And we adjust the tension of the string by adding or lessening the weight and moving the distance of the vibrational column. Its frequency of vibration of the column of the string can be modified and tuned to the frequency of the tuning fork. And a pre-tuned tuning fork, a pre-tuned sonometer is brought in near to a vibrating tuning fork. The string automatically vibrates, and that is defined as a resonation. It is really very relevant. Homeopathic cure happens through resonation. And superposition happens when two vibrational frequencies simultaneously occur at the same medium at the same time. So I am going to show a video showing both these in a short video. Listen to this video or see this video, watch this video. Tuning fork and sonometer, pre-tuned. It is the column pre-tuned. And the paper rider falls due to resonation. This is superposition. When two vibrational frequencies coexist in the same medium at the same time, they superpose each other, and the permanently existing vibrational frequency get proportionately modified. These things are happening in our physical body due to different thought process that we develop and maintain in our mind, and we with our vital force each and every moment of our life. And here, based on the nature of the thoughts that we allow to develop, the superposition varies and the outcome happens accordingly. So when we have naturally positive thoughts developing in our mind, like happy, comfortable, mature, peaceful, and naturally positive thoughts developing in our mind, that will superpose with the vital force and modify its frequency, wavelength, and amplitude to a healthy, pure, and stable state, resulting into a constructive DNA alteration or epigenetic change that will constructively or curatively modify the particular genes in its expressive ability. When we have negative emotions like hatred, enmity, depression, grief, jealousy, fear, anxiety, worry, insecurity, guilty feeling, anything we name it negative, such a vibrational frequency superpose with our vital force and modify its frequency, wavelength, and amplitude and its spatial orientation to an unhealthy state and plane and order, with the creation of a destructive mutation or epigenetic change. These we can observe clearly in every diseases, especially chronic diseases. And that is, I was able to monitor and identify these connectivity only because I became a homeopathy doctor, and I'm proud to be a homeopathy doctor. So now what are the different modes of DNA alteration or mutation possible? Number one, through the direct superposition of the vital force by the thoughts that we allow to develop within us in our own mind. That is the most important thing. Second thing is through the direct superposition of the vital force by the energy vibrations coming from outside the body. That includes man-made energy vibrations like X-rays, mobile frequencies, Wi-Fi, 5G and 6G, thoughts of others, cosmic radiations, including the application of homeopathic medicines, which is expected to produce a curative change or a constructive change when applied based on the law of stimulus. I will explain in detail. And the thoughts of others are very important, because when I develop an anger or a negative emotion in my mind, that first inflict me. When I develop and release that thought of a negativity to the universe, thinking of a person or a group of people, it first inflict me. I get distracted in my vital force level, and which will destructively change my DNA. And when that thought is released, it will immediately affect the intended person or a group of people, and they superpose with their vital force and modify its frequency and try to modify their DNA also. But if that person or a group of people keep their mind in the positive, happy, and comfortable plane, the positivity within them will protect them, and the external interference will not happen, and they will not be affected by the external impact. So in the future, when 5G and 6G are about to influence us for the hacking that may happen in the future, the most important thing we need to remember is turning to spirituality and increase the time of meditation to stabilize our mind, to fix ourselves and transform ourselves to more constructively and positively thinking and living individuals. Now, the third possibility is through physical plane, through biochemical reactions. Unfortunately, the third possibility is the only scientific possibility studied and applied in medicine today, totally leaving and ignoring the most important possibilities in the dynamic plane. And this is the most important challenge and the furtherance and need for furtherance in medical science and research. So these are the possibilities where homeopathy is most relevant and functioning. These are the areas when we try to understand and explain how homeopathy works will become relevant and known to the world, and that can definitely help modify the present medical science from a material or linear science to a holistic or non-linear science. And that is the most important revolution that needs medical science today to save humanity and the future of developments in medical science. Now coming to further to homeopathy, as we told, we are preparing all our medicines from natural sources, which are material things. And how it become dynamic medicine capable of influencing the vital force, which get modified to influence both on either side through the physical body and in the mind. So how we can capable of making these medicines to energy plane to influence the question. We know that today we study atomic theory, and the atom, the concept of atom was introduced through two Greek philosophers called Lucifer and Democritus. And they defined atom stating that atom is the finite end unit of matter which are no more divisible, cuttable, or unable to further divide. That is the end unit. But today we have an atomic theory which states atoms are made up of electron, proton, and neutron, meaning they are further dividing the atom to subatomic particles. These two don't match. So there is a controversy there. And more than that, if we take a piece of paper and break it down by burning it, we will get energies like light and heat and some other carbon dioxide and other ingredients, smoke and other things. We are not getting electrons, protons, and neutrons. We are getting energy vibrations in the form of light and heat and some other ingredients. So why? What is wrong in it? So all these indicates there is need for modification of atomic theory, and that is the time quantum theory come into consideration. In quantum theory, we consider matter as union of quanta of energy. So in dynamic science, we are redefining matter through quantum perspective and quantum theory consideration or principles, stating that An atom is nothing but an end unit of matter, where the unit is made up of vibrational frequencies of specific frequency, wavelength, and amplitude, which are spinning, stabilized in its own axis. So different elements are nothing but modifications in its frequency, wavelength, and amplitude spinning in its own axis, remaining stabilized. In solid state, these fundamental units remain heavily compressed and specifically arranged in conductors and non-conductors. And in liquid state, it is loosely compressed. In gaseous state, it is very loosely compressed. And in space, it is not at all compressed. Planets are places where we can see compressed forms of energy, solid, liquid, and gases. Stars are places where it is remaining concentrated, where these units can come out and go in any time. So with this renewed understanding of the energy atom, and also another perspective of cosmos. See, there is a microcosm and macrocosm. When we go into the macrocosm of the universe, we can see solar system. Our Earth is part of the solar system, which is again part of Milky Way, a giant galaxy of galaxies or similar like the solar system, like galaxies existing in the Milky Way. And the entire universe is believed to be containing so many such galaxies like Milky Way, which is moving, remaining in a stable fashion because of its force of attraction and repulsion. There is a gravitational attraction existing in the entire universe, stabilizing it, moving as it is moving. And if you go to microcosm, we will be able to see the similar fashion arrangement also, is my opinion. So when we go to microcosm, quantum of energy also contains macroscopic way of arrangement in the cosmic perspective, where we can see energy compressed and surrounded by concentrated and stabilized matter atoms arranged in a solar system like a pattern. When we consider the present atom-like structure, instead of nucleus, where we believe neutrons and protons are present, there may be possibly quantum of energy present, surrounded by another stabilized form of planetary-like arrangements of further concentrated and stabilized planetary form of minute form of arrangement in the microcosm. We can even call it as nanoparticles if you, in the modern scientific perspective. So when we potentize, what is happening? We are breaking the quantum breaking point of these solar systemic microcosmic arrangement and liberating the quantum of energy. And this energy, the maximum we dilute and we suckers and potentize, higher the potency, there will be maximal liberated energy present in homeopathic medicine. So potentization can be defined as a unique way of homeopathic medicine preparation with the process of continuous dilution of the medicinal substance with a vehicle through succussion and trituration, thus breaking down the compressed energy units in the substance to individual energy units or to an energy level, so that these energy units can resonate the vital force to bring back its lost purity and stability when given based on the law of similars. So the scientificity of homeopathy. What is acting curative in homeopathic medicine is nothing but the liberated energy vibrational units which remain compressed in the material substance, in our medicinal substance from where we initiated the process of potentization, which got liberated. Higher the potency, the higher can be the vibrational unit distribution there. Then how it works? There are side changes which we have done some study of homeopathic medicine using the energy measuring machine of Dr. Korotkov from St. Petersburg University, and identified that there is a wave-like pattern of energy up and downs as we go with higher potency. 6C has a higher potency, then the energy slightly goes down, then it increases again. We can see a wave-like pattern. And my explanation is that these microscopic quanta of solar system like arrangements will be breaking at certain quanta of breaking point, a quantum breaking point. That will be different. As the quantum breaking point varies, as the potency increases, these quanta will release the energy and goes high. Further dilute, it will go down. Again, another quanta of breaking point happens and it increases again. It goes on like that. That may be the reason we observed such a pattern. Now, how it works? It is working. It is working when we prove homeopathic medicine. We give a potentized homeopathic medicine to a healthy human being. And these vibrational unit remaining liberated in the potentized homeopathic medicine will superpose with the vital force and make a temporary alteration there. And that alteration will be expressed through its DNA changes in the physical plane and mental emotional plane accordingly. And that we monitor, and that is what we study in our material medical. And we have proven so many medicines available, and now we are in practice. And we are in front of a patient, how a disease develops. Diseases are developing when we have alteration in the frequency, wavelength, and amplitude of the vital force from a healthy frequency to an unhealthy frequency. That modification will be respectively modifying the DNA and expressing its changes accordingly in the physical plane, from head to foot and in the mental emotional plane. And we do the case taking and take the totality of symptoms, which is nothing but the physical, the totality of symptoms are nothing but the functional changes in the mental, emotional, and physical plane from head to foot. That is an absolute representation of the changes that happened in the vital force plane from healthy to unhealthy. And then we compare this totality of symptoms with the different homeopathic medicines and choose a medicine that produced a similar symptomatology at the time of proving. We call it low similis. What does it mean? It means that this medicine contains a liberated vibrational frequency similar to the altered vital frequency of the vital force of the sick individual. So when we give that medicine to the sick patient, since the liberated energy, frequency, wavelength, and amplitude of the liberated energy present in the homeopathic medicine is similar to the altered frequency, wavelength, and amplitude of the vital force of the sick person, resonation happens and the restoration of the lost frequency happens, whereby rectifying the vital force, whereby modifying the DNA on the physical plane, and giving a susceptibility for right philosophical thinking and rectification of the wrong concept and attitudes and thought development in the mental emotional plane on the other side.
Yes.
So now, take-home message of this presentation include medical science needs to be furthered. No doubt in that. From materialism to holistic science, that furtherance is very important. And homeopathy works in an energy plane. That's why the process of potentization is an important, historically important discovery of homeopathy that was neglected so far. And in the coming future, it is going to play a very important role. And holistic science should be the science of medical science, because medical science is to deal with a living organism where dynamic components are associated with the physical body. It is not merely a physical body alone. So it should be the holistic science, not the linear or material science. Very important. And homeopathy is going to become the gateway for the future furtherance of science in general and medical science in particular. And we all can be proud to be homeopaths, because our presence is very relevant for the future existence of science and medical science in particular, that are going to make a revolutionary quantum leap and scientific furtherance of the millennium. And that will be historically remembered from now onwards.
Yes.
Thank you very much.
Yes, definitely.
For questioning.
Yes. Of course, it really wonderful. A lot of thought trons are activated the brains of these 85 participants, I hope. Definitely, we know that in Bhagavad Gita it says that this is the secrets of secrets. Idide jnanam akhyadam bukhyad bukhyadaram mayat. This is the secrets of secrets I am revealing to you. Lord told to Arjuna. So you can act, you can think according to your versions. That's it. So that is the freedom given in the philosophy. Then again, we can see the concept of the Indian philosophy, where it is called this Anu, that means the atom. Then the Paramanu, the subatomic particles. Then the Prana, that means the electrons. Then the Chaitanya, the consciousness. This is the sequence. So, well, these are the extremes of knowledge. And Dr.Shaji could write this, it's a gateway between the physics as well as metaphysics. You can make this physics and metaphysics by practically taking or proving a homeopathic medicine. That's the most important thing. We can't imagine how the energy comes or how it acts, but you can feel it only through homeopathic medicines. No other options. You can create dreams. You can create thoughts. You can create positive thoughts. You can create negative thoughts. Will all these things happen during the historical process of drug proving with the potentized medicine in healthy human beings? There's a wonderful word of homeopathy. I think our scientists totally failed in understanding homeopathy. There's a lot problem homeopathy faces because of the business tactics or interest. Time for discussion. Those who would like to participate can go to the participant list. And of course, Thambi Nagardana sir is the most apt person to talk with, sir. Yes, sir, please proceed, sir. Yeah.
Good evening. Very nice. Mr. Dr.Shaji Kudiat. I had only two small questions. First of all, the founder, Hanuman, he himself has came from the modern, the allopathic, after fed up with this allopathic treatment. And as an alternative, he find out your homeopathy. I appreciate it. But still, after this 250 years, how they were superseding you by expressing and proving this as a pseudoscience, and all your institutions even were eliminated from the globe itself. Other than, I think, now even Germany is not having a medical sector. Of course, Kerala, there are a lot of people, I can tell, even the government is supporting. But how you can judge or justify these kinds of words by, because so many hospitals in US has closed due to the inefficiency or lacuna of scientific evidence as they proved. I think
Yes.
it is a mere matter of manipulation and suppression of truths. Because we know that the present modern medicine or Rockefeller medicine was just a matter of a high school teacher hired by two largest medical industrialists, Carnegie and Rockefeller, in the name of Abraham Flexner, who was neither a scientist nor a medical doctor, just a high school teacher, a one-man committee report. See how tactfully and how brutally they made a one-man committee report where it is stated biochemical medicine should be the scientific medicine. And through their money power, they influenced the politicians of America and implemented it there in beginning of the 20th century, in 1910 onwards. Only one good thing they did was they standardized the medical education. That was the thing that was slightly going wrong, with the different medical schools having different period of courses. Like some schools may have 2 years, some may have 3 years, like that. They only helped, the Flexner report only helped in modifying and standardizing it. Other than that, so many mistakes happened by the funded report produced by this one man high school teacher. We have to specifically mention he was not competent for that. High school teacher made into a one-man committee report. It is still available in history, and that made the modern medicine today. And after the Second World War, America, through these corporate companies, won the war, and they were able to influence the entire world. And Rockefeller created the World Health Organization to promote their biochemical medicine into the world. And they established through a lot of strategies, like bringing mission hospitals around the world through spiritual people, Christian missionaries. In India, they are using Mada Amardandamai even today to bring such things in a gigantic manner. $6,000 big hospitals, which are monument. People think that is everything, health is everything there. No. We need to educate them. We need to modify them. We need to influence the entire global, sincere scientists and scientifically thinking people. The mistakes they are happening, how they brutally suppress.
Okay, Doctor. Yes, we have time constraints now. Dr. Amir Malik. Yes, Dr. Amir Malik.
Honorable Sir, Namaskaram. Good evening.
Only 5 minutes remaining, please. Okay.
Yes, special thanks to Honorable Sir Dr.Shaji Kudiat sir. It's a very good topic you have touched it. It's it should be known as the evolution of DNA, because I have to say 4 or 5 things about the allopaths. What they have said, the cancer which is spreading very rapidly within the world. Scientifically, they have no explanation. We have to be very much thankful to God for, and especially for our Guru, who fighted for the same issue, because he was MBBS doctor and he discovered the homeopathy. So this is our historical conspiracy, that allopaths want to secure us, want to suppress us, want to crush us. This is their problem. Now, what is that? I am especially my personal opinion about the cancer, the most senior departments of cancer. They are saying they have no scientific explanation regarding how the cancer is spreading so fast. In the simply, they end this chapter in a single sentence by saying this is the mutation in the DNA. So if it's a mutation, because I can just let you know in single sentence also, having heavy sunlight, gamma rays, beta rays, alpha rays, ultraviolet, microwave, all these things are causing cancer. But in the end, a man is not drinking alcohol, a man is not smoking, he is suffering from colon cancer. And they said, the radiology department said, we don't have any explanation how that cancer spreads in the body.
Yes, so, doctor, that's the problem. Okay.
Simple sentence, sir. Very important thing. Japanese have the lava, the volcano lava, to prevent.
So we need more science. More science we need for that. That's true.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, doctor. Please conclude. Doctor, please conclude. Limited time is there, doctor. Excuse me.
Okay, we will talk for the evolution of DNA. Only the homeopathic science have this ability. to recover the damaged DNA, to come over the mutation process, which was
Yes.
based on the 4 molecular basis of genes, transition, translation, addition, and deletion. And we
Yes.
have the medicine to restore the DNA.
Yes, Doctor.
Unfortunately,
Yes, Dr. Amir Malik, you can have a session separately on the coming days. Okay.
Okay,
Yes.
sir.
Okay. Now,
I
Dr.
will
Beatrice, madam, please proceed.
Yes,
I will
thank
just
you very much,
continue.
and many greetings to everybody from Germany. And great saying to Dr. Shaji. Dr. Shaji, you explained very well, and it's a very important topic to talk about science. And you know what our master did say in one of the first paragraphs, he said, the most important is to observe without prejudice. And what I say, a good science is to have a good question and also to know why we have that question for the benefit of mankind. That is very important. So you did explain very well with the waves. And just 1 minute, I have very good news for IFPH. I'm really very touched. We have a nice platform similar to IFPH in Germany. It's called United to Heal. United to Heal. And also Dr. Danish did talk and other people. So this week we had a big conference and 150,000 participants in Germany watching, giving comments, being active, interactive. So I can say it's very good news of homeopathy also in our country at the moment.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Beatrice Tester. Now, Hariharan sir, please unmute. Yes, sir.
Oh. Hello,
Yes.
Dr.
Yes.
Shaji Kudiat. Your explanation regarding microcosm and macrocosm is very correct. I am appreciating you. The same phenomena on microcosm and microcosm is the same.
Yes.
That I like to appreciate that. See, next is that I want to know that what is homeostasis. At any time, everybody,
Yes, sir.
every individual.
Excuse me, sir. Excuse me, sir. It's a larger topic. We
No,
need
sir. Now, suddenly I will stop. See, every individual or every creature have the capacity to a homeostasis philosophy. So, for what homeopathic medicine is doing is see, every time it is like trying to come into normal. Homeopathic medicine is doing that. So
Yes.
I want such an explanation from you, sir. Again, at any time. At any
Very
time.
simple, very simple. I already explained that I didn't use the word homeostasis, that's all. It is in nothing but restoration of the lost frequency of the vital force through resonation by the
Yes.
by the correct potency and the medicine we choose based on the law of simulation. That will restore the homeostasis. I didn't use the word homeostasis, that's all, but it is what is happening.
Okay, very correct.
Okay. Now
Thank
we
you, sir.
want
Reminding of that word on.
we want to restore the homeostasis over time. Now I am inviting Parit sir to express a lot of thanks. Sir, please.
Thank you. Hello, Dr. Shaji Kudiat. I would like to call you as a scientist rather than a homeopathic doctor. It's an excellent presentation explaining the concept, basic concept of the topic in question. Actually, we need a further study on this, and it has got a lot of scope for further researches on that. And Dr. Shaji Kudiat is capable of taking up the challenge. I am sure about that, because it is a wonderful science. Homeopathy, the relevance of homeopathy, the practicability of homeopathy, the effectiveness of homeopathy, and all that. He was trying to explain all these things through a gateway of physics and metaphysics. Congratulations, all the best, and may I express attitude of gratitude to you for making this wonderful presentation, one of the unique presentation made in this forum. Thank you very much. We are expecting more from you. Thank you.
Yes, definitely you can expect sir more. With that, let me conclude today's single session. Hope you to meet the same time tomorrow. Till then, goodbye. And it is all Dr. A.R. Ashok Kumar to continue the program in Malayalam.